In space, no one can hear you scream. The incredible tagline to a movie that would capture the imagination of generations and set the precedent in sci-fi horror moving forwards. A film that, as incredible as it is, has a much more interesting backstory with regards to how it came to be and the many minds at play establishing it as something to be remembered. It's a movie that arguably was a monumental success, although there are conflicting reports and recounts with regards to its initial budget, from as little as 8.5 million right up to 14 million. But the movie took somewhere in the region of $100 million domestically and a worldwide total of just over $200 million, which from a budget of roughly 9 million or so is nothing short of amazing. The screenplay and initial concept was created by Dan O'Bannon, who he collaborated on with Ronald Shusett. The opening to what would become Alien was initially a 29-page script titled Memory, something O'Bannon had put together. It had the crew waking up, rudely interrupted from their slumber by a signal on a mysterious planetoid. Their ship was to break down and they were to investigate the signal. This was the bare bones of what would become Alien. O'Bannon was unsure from here how exactly the alien would look and how it would interact with the crew, but he did know he wanted a realistic alien involved. After this was created and left a work in progress, O'Bannon accepted a job in Paris, working on Jodorowsky's Dune adaptation. The film never came to light, but O'Bannon did make some contacts, artists, and more specifically H.R. Giger. This laid the foundations for O'Bannon to include a Giger-style monster in his script, and something he purposely had in mind when he began working on the script again. After returning from Paris, O'Bannon moved in with Shusett and the two attempted to finish the script. Shusett would remark on O'Bannon's previous film ideas about gremlins infiltrating a bomber during World War II. Rather than a bomber, the alien would infiltrate the broken down ship on the planetoid. From here, the working title of the script became Star Beast. However, O'Bannon hated the sound of it and decided against it. Alien was the title he set his sights on instead. As you can see from here, the basics of the movie were coming together, and at this time, no director was even involved in the film. Shusett was in fact the man with the idea of the alien laying an embryo within the crew member, with the idea that it would burst out of him. The reason for coming up with this was for a plot device by which the alien would be able to get aboard the craft. O'Bannon took his inspiration from nearly everything he had seen. The Thing from Another World was where professionals being chased by a deadly alien through claustrophobic environments came from. Forbidden Planet was where O'Bannon got the idea of the ship warning them not to land and the crew being killed by a creature due to them defying the warning. And interestingly, one of the most iconic of the ideas, the space jockey. O'Bannon got the idea from watching Planet of the Vampires, where there is a scene that shows a giant alien skeleton. O'Bannon has made no secret that lots of work influenced Alien. His comments on this were, "I didn't steal Alien from someone, I stole it from everyone." At this point, with multiple ideas from various films and his own compiled together, the plot and script were essentially complete. O'Bannon and Shusett began presenting the script to prospective studios, and their pitch was a funny one: Jaws in space. Just as Shusett and O'Bannon were about to sign a deal, a friend of theirs passed the script on to Gordon Carroll, David Giller and Walter Hill, the heads behind Brandywine and O'Bannon and Shusett's entry into 20th Century Fox. Although the script was essentially accepted, David Giller and Walter Hill were supposedly not happy with it at all, and they made numerous rewrites. The rumour has it though, they were changing it on purpose with the aim to get writing credits on the film. Though this, of course, is hearsay and would never be confirmed. Hill and Giller did come up with the idea for the hidden android though, which would serve as a subplot and a looming presence behind everything. Despite all of the rewrites, 20th Century Fox was still no closer to backing the movie. However, due to the popularity of Star Wars, their interest and confidence peaked. So again, it's important to note that at this point, most of the iconic ideas that would end up on screen were already in place, and still, no director. Alien as we know it was already underway. After 20th Century Fox initially gave a supposed $4.5 million for the production budget, they began. O'Bannon had wrongly presumed he would direct the film, however Fox had different ideas and actually wanted Walter Hill to direct, who did in fact decline the offer due to other commitments he had at the time and also his comfort level working with intense visual effects. It was in fact Hill and Giller's idea to get Ridley Scott involved, who quickly accepted the offer and set about making storyboards for the project, which were instrumental in getting Fox to double the budget to somewhere in the region of $9 million or so. From here, O'Bannon would be the man to get H.R. Giger involved. He introduced Ridley Scott to the artist and his work, and they both felt that the alien would be best served with something similar to work in the Necronom 4. Fox were initially hesitant, stating that the work is too ghastly for audiences, and it was only after persistence of Gordon Carroll, Walter Hill and David Giller that he was actually signed on for the project. The project was filmed over 14 weeks, predominantly in London, and some miniature work was filmed in Berkshire. The production timeline was very short for something so ambitious, but this was due to a low budget and also pressure from Fox to finish quickly and on time. But it was, and what an incredible film it turned out to be. I think perhaps one of the big take-homes from this is in fact that the mastermind behind Alien was not, like everyone claims it was, Ridley Scott. But the film was a success because of multiple inputs, a refining process that took place over a few years. Lots of creative eyes were on the project, and a lot of the most iconic ideas were already in place prior to a director even signing on. Unfortunately, we flash forward 40 years and somehow the story of Alien is now lost to the passage of time, which is why I felt the need to make this video surrounding how exactly it got made. It's also quite telling now that when the Alien franchise is perhaps at its most uncertain, that there really only has been one creative eye steering the ship. All that being said though, Alien really is a masterpiece. I got the chance to watch it on the big screen recently, Alien Day of last year in fact, at 20th Century Fox's offices in London, and it was such an incredible experience. It's a movie that really does benefit from the big screen treatment. The atmosphere is intensified, those subtle moments between characters that perhaps you wouldn't notice on a smaller screen shine through, and of course, the alien really does look its most menacing on a theatre screen. So is any of this news to you? Were you aware of the story of Alien and how it came to be? Who was involved and who contributed what? And of course, what are your thoughts on the original movie? My overall thoughts? It laid some of the best foundations in any movie franchise ever. Not all of it was built upon in the way intended, but as a standalone or a starter, Alien just works. These space trucker style characters and their interactions is the icing on the cake. It's realistic, gritty, and it's engaging. It has its flaws, like any film, sure, but the miniature work needs to be complemented, as does the obvious, mind-blowing set designs. O'Bannon's idea to include the giant skeleton alien is something we can all thank him for, as it was one of the greatest mysteries of the franchise up until Ridley Scott decided he wanted to explore it in these prequel movies. But as it was, what a beautifully grotesque design. Again, something we can also thank Giger for. It's a film that does, I feel anyway, hold up still to this day, and quite strongly so in fact. I appreciate this is something somewhat different, however you can treat it kind of like a retrospective review plus additional information, I guess, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this, so please do let me know down below in the comment section, and if you did enjoy this video then please consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more reviews in the future. If you think this video is worth it and you want to support me, the channel and what I do, then head on over to my Patreon page, the link is in the description box. And another massive way to help support the channel is to simply share this video. It really does go a long way to helping support the channel. As always guys, I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I will catch you in the comment section.